Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts, and today, like every day, we're coming at you live from our studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. What a day to be watching crypto on YouTube, wherever you're watching, as CZ, the head of Binance, will plead guilty. Binance will pay a $4.3 billion fine, and he's going to step down as CEO of Binance. What does that mean for our industry? Is Bitcoin in turmoil? Also, the SEC strikes again as they sue Kraken. $30 million wasn't enough. They're after more. And we also have Magic Internet Money joining us for some TA in a little bit. But first, here's your other host, Big Rob.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the, entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take that old, boring, and stale information, repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way. Are you stepping down as well, David?
I'm not. I am stepping in to say thank you to our channel sponsor, CAMS Blue Wire Technology. Today's crystal clear 4K stream is brought to you by CAMS. If you run a business and want to maximize your networking, IT, and your cybersecurity, you're going to want to call CAMS Blue Wire Tech. Visit bluewiretech.com or simply click the link in the description of this video. Now, guys, typically we start the show, funny stuff. Ain't no time to be funny today. I wore black for a reason. Dark day in crypto. Let's get right into the big news. Obviously, we have this. So this was from earlier. The DOJ, Department of Justice, schedules press conference for 3 p.m. Eastern to unveil distinct yet interconnected crypto enforcement actions. This came out prior to the news of CZ being charged and entering a plea deal. We now know, obviously, it's going to revolve around Binance. Will there be other people implicated as well? This is a fluid situation, so we're sharing news as we get it. We had this from Watcher Guru. CZ pleads guilty to violating criminal anti-money laundering requirements. So money laundering, all the stuff they charge him for. And then we have this from the Wall Street Journal. Binance founder Changpeng Zhao agrees to step down and plead guilty. The CEO of Binance, the largest global crypto exchange, plans to step down and plead guilty to violating criminal U.S. anti-money laundering requirements and a deal that may preserve the company's ability to continue operating. CZ is scheduled to appear in Seattle federal court on Tuesday, so today afternoon, and enter his plea. Executives have recently fled Binance, and the exchange has laid off a chunk of its employees this year as the company struggled to come to terms with the U.S. probes. The deal would allow CZ to retain his majority ownership without serving as an executive role. Now, on this show, me more so than Robin, as people started resigning, Binance US CEO resigns, their CFO resigned, their CEO, whoever else resigned, kind of said, hey, this doesn't usually happen, right? This is not your typical, right? Same thing happened with FTX. Brett Harrison steps down, Sam Trabucco, and everyone else. And here we go. It all culminated to this. And then one last thing I've highlighted down here. So the fine they're going to pay is $4.3 billion. Now, we know CZ and Binance, they had the DOJ on them, they had the SEC on them, and they had the CFTC on them as well. So the $4.3 billion that Binance would pay includes amounts to address the CFTC's claims and those leveled by agencies of the Treasury Department. The Treasury Department. Robin, this thing came out of nowhere. We kind of heard rumors yesterday. DOJ is seeking $4 billion. But for CZ to enter a plea deal, what are your thoughts about everything that's happening? And kind of share some insight here.
Surprising, right? Came out of left field, and so he's going to admit fault, right? Is there any plea deal? You think there's a jail time possibly?
There has to be, right?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
money laundering.
Maybe that's the fine. I don't know, man. I'm just surprised he just didn't stay overseas, right?
Well, he lives in Abu Dhabi.
That's what I'm saying. So if he's flying over here to the U.S., I don't know, man. I'm not saying I would do it, but maybe not come back to the U.S. Especially if you're facing a prison sentence.
Well, but then at that point, right? So part of it is he gets to keep his majority stake in the company, right? Binance gets to continue operating.
Yeah.
So did he sacrifice himself to save the company? That's kind of what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming it's like, all right, pay the fine, 4.3 billion, plead guilty to wrongdoing, and your company can continue to operate. We'll make some changes on the executive level. Maybe they'll have to file some paperwork. I don't know. But is this it's a weird question to ask, but is this a positive? Like, is this positive news? You know, like people are saying, finally, it's behind us. That was the big thing hanging over our heads as a industry as a whole is Binance and CZ. And are they going to shut them down? Is it going to go under? Now, looks like a resolution is here. Is that a positive? Is that a net positive?
I don't think people getting arrested, especially high profile people, CEOs or founders of major crypto companies going under is good, right? I mean, you can always spin a positive out of everything, but as far as net positive versus negative, it's not good, right? I mean, it just shows you that the United States doesn't play around. United States. Now, if he's money laundering, acting illegally, right? He knows he's breaking the law. He does it anyways. Sure, there should be some consequence with it. But is somebody being convicted or someone pleading guilty to criminal charges as a CEO of the biggest crypto exchange? Is that a good look for crypto? No. I truly don't believe that. And I don't, I think at some point this will become less and less. You're never going to get free of billionaires and giant companies not trying to get by. And we see it with the traditional finance all the time. You see all these CEOs of banks that get indicted, insider trading. So it's just human nature. So it's not, we're never going to get to a position where we're going to be free of it. But it's not a good look, man. Everyone always wants to point the finger at crypto as money laundering and all of this mess. And this is just another piece of ammunition for politicians to say, hey, look, biggest exchange, Binance, money laundering, dude pleaded guilty. Really no arguing there, right? And so at that point, it really just screws everything, bro.
We do have this from John Deaton, who is a lawyer. Whatever you think of CZ, he had no real choice being able to keep his majority stake in Binance, plead out to a money laundering charge, and likely get 2 to 5 years of probation. There's not a criminal defense attorney alive going to say, nah, you should roll the dice. So we have that. We also have this from Autism Capital. CZ is personally on the hook for $50 million to the U.S. government, and Binance, the company, is on the hook for exactly $4,316,126,163. So, again, did he sacrifice himself to save the company and, of course, save his wealth? But things move fast as new candidates for Binance CEO have been revealed. That's kind of funny. And then, you remember this video, Robin, from Nas Daily? Just play it.
Been a while.
Play it quick.
Is not a traditional billionaire because he believes in the concept of earn to give, which means his goal as a human is to make as much money as possible just to give it away. Earn to give. And that's to donate $500 million a year.
Good that you can do for the future.
It was a little fluff piece, right? Well, looky.
Earn to give, huh?
The same guy.
Hey, this is the richest guy in the world.
Is this the Jim Cramer of crypto, Robin? Nas Daily. And Nas Daily, if you're watching for some reason, your content is great, man. But come on, man.
From crypto, and you don't even know him.
Hi, my name is CZ.
He made over $60 billion.
So now I want you, chat, to do me a favor. Go look at this gentleman's videos and tell me if there's any other crypto person that he has done a video like this on. That way we can front run the next potential person. I don't know, Rob, So again, this news story broke today. The DOJ press conference is going to be in about 45 minutes. We'll probably be streaming that live with you. So make sure to stay tuned. Any kind of last words on this?
Last words for Binance? No, okay, how about this? Here's my question. I propose to you. Will Binance be the number one exchange in the depths of the next bull market?
No.
No?
No.
They're still currently the biggest exchange.
Okay. When you say exchange, are we talking like
top to bottom, the amount of volume and users and transactions?
No. Yeah. I think this is a black eye for Binance, even though they're going to be able to continue operating. This news is going to make headlines. And so you had the leader of the company, the one who started it, pleading guilty to money laundering. Would you continue using it? I mean, would the average person, and especially with some of these TradFi companies coming in and these exchanges and EDX, and maybe we got another exchange ran by, the TradFi people, Wall Street people. You have Coinbase that has continued to grow overseas. I want to say no. I think Binance gets overlapped. But go ahead.
By who?
I just said maybe someone like Coinbase, maybe a TradFi exchange.
The thing is there's not a Binance isn't where it's at because of its U.S. arm, right?
OKX is growing pretty fast. MEXC is growing pretty fast. I don't know. I'm saying
Binance's numbers don't come from the U.S. The Binance.us platform is tiny.
Money laundering doesn't have borders, right? They're like, oh, he money laundered in the U.S.
No,
he's fine over here.
No, I'm saying that they are the exchange they are as far as their numbers by their international accounts. And if there's issues in the United States and the United States has a problem, it doesn't change. Somebody living in Singapore, someone living in South Korea, someone living in Japan, someone living in China, if they're using Binance, I'm pretty sure they're not like, the US sued Binance. We can't use it. Like, yeah, maybe people here in the States might look at it differently, but those numbers are irrelevant anyways. Nobody's using Binance.us. You can't even on
Robin, he didn't commit a crime that's just centric to the US. It's money laundering can happen anywhere in the world. So what I'm trying to say is
money laundering is a US thing, man.
So you don't.
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand. He broke the law. He broke the United States law.
Correct, but that's not a good look.
It's not. But do you really think that people in Asia care about the U.S. dropping a charge on CZ? If anything, they're probably laughing like the U.S. just doesn't get it, bro. The U.S. they just think they can sue every international
But he pled guilty.
Yes, to the U.S. So that way I'm not saying.
I know what you're saying. For me, I think it does reverberate globally.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. There's probably money laundering going on in every single crypto company outside of maybe Coinbase. Just the reality of it, man.
So that makes it okay.
And I'm not. And the thing is it probably wasn't CZ that was doing it himself personally. He was probably just aware of it. And well, you know what? Just like we're aware people use Tornado Cash for money laundering. If we own Tornado Cash,
look, man. I'm just saying. You asked for my opinion. I'm saying I think it's
my opinion.
I think it's a black eye.
It's not a good look by any stretch of imagination. I'm not saying it is, but at the same time, I really don't think international users care that the U.S. is charging CZ. Like, I really don't. Rocco, do you think people in Italy care that CZ got a?
Maybe a few channel news, man. No, nobody.
Ain't nobody over here like, I'm deleting my Coinbase my Binance account. I am deleting this. I cannot believe the Americans, they have uncovered the truth. And money laundering?
Let the mic go.
I'm curious to get our guest take on this. So we haven't had this gentleman on in a while. Part of it's our fault, and we don't want to make that happen again. So we're going to bring him on more regularly. One of our favorite TA people. It is Magic, Internet Money. Magic, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Good, bro. How you doing, man? We miss you.
It's been a while. It has been a while.
How you feeling, man? I know you were kind of under the weather.
I feel a lot better today. I'm doing a 4-day fast, so I'm 2 days in. So I'm a little loopy today. It's all water. That's it.
All right. Well, listen, I want to get your opinion here. So Robin asked the question: Do you think Binance is still going to be the #1 exchange? What are your just general thoughts? Do you think this is going to hamper any of their growth moving forward? Do you think someone overtakes them? Do you think this just doesn't matter, like Robin's saying?
I don't think it matters personally. Having seen places like BitMEX go down, someone's going to take their place if they do. So for me, it doesn't really matter. I don't have any exposure to Binance, so I don't really care. But it's definitely not going to be good for the space. It's going to be a black eye initially. So.
Okay. Let's get right into the market. So we know Bitcoin kind of pull back a little bit, but it's over 37K now. So we have Bitcoin at $37,048, up about 0.5% on the hour, down 1.5% on the 24-hour. BNB is green on the hour as well. But Magic, if we can start with Bitcoin, well, what's the market structure looking like for Bitcoin? And was this a scare, or you feel like at this point nothing can really move the price of Bitcoin negatively like it did with, let's say, FTX?
I wouldn't say nothing can move it, but I would say that it's not too scary yet. People are getting worried for no reason. I also think it's because people are sidelined, so they're celebrating every little pullback, looking for more, but the pain is up in mind. So still looking for higher. Let me get my chart up, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit.
Cool. While you pull your
chart up,
echo,
by the way, on your end?
I do want to give a no, we don't see your screen yet, but while we do that, we just want to give a real quick big thank you to a couple people. So we had Redman who gifted 10 Sin City memberships. So big thank you to Redman. And also S-Dog said, I ain't waiting for no free memberships. I'm going to sign up on my own. And he just joined our Sinner Level 1 member. So welcome, my friend.
Also, if you are new here, say hello. We drop that hola back at you. We do have Doc Juan Crumpton, Be Frank About It, Ray Javier, Cheat something, Lonzo, Jamsty TV, Ray J, All Set, Crypto Soul, Frumpy Crypto, Lonzo Harras, to all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we are live on Rumble right now, so if somebody in the Rumble chat pops in here, says something, we'll give you a shout out as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give them a different language, right? We got the Portuguese hola. Maybe the Rumble people will get
The French hola?
yes.
Bonjour.
Oui.
Anyways, beautiful. We got your chart, Magic. Ooh. Go ahead, Magic. You're good, brother. Hello? Did we lose Magic? No? Okay. All right. Well, we figure that out. Let's figure this out. So, as I mentioned before, Rob, I'll let you do the prices on crypto.
The prices?
Yeah.
All right.
Like a coin market cap.
So we got Bitcoin coming in at 37,000 flat. You can see that we've been flirting around with the 36 to 37.5 range. A lot of volatility in the very short term here. And so taking a look at a lot of volatility as far as in the last 2 to 3 hours. Big swings, man. I mean, we went from 37.2 down to 36.7, and so rebounding a little bit. But if you take a look at the week, you can see where we're at. We were at 35,006 at the beginning of last week, and so we're at 37. So nice, healthy move up. And then even when you zoom out on the 1 month, you can really see that we are just slowly trending up to the 40K mark. This is exactly what you want to see when it comes to Bitcoin, is just slow, steady growth up and to the right. And I think that this is priming us. If we get to 40K, think about it this way. We get to $40,000 Bitcoin by, say, next week. I think that's realistic. And then let's say the ETF were to go live with Bitcoin sitting over 45,000, because I think there's sometime in January they have to make a determination, right?
Well, there is one in December, right?
But they're going to delay.
But January is really where people are. You know, Rob. I was
Can you hear me?
watching. I was watching
Okay.
cryptos. I was watching crypto.
Sorry, there was an
Zombie
echo, and
yesterday.
then all of a sudden my mic stopped working. I was like, "What's going on?"
You're going through.
Sure.
Oh,
Share the screen, and we'll see if that.
Rago, he's live on the show.
Work. Beautiful.
Yeah. So sorry, we got Magic backstage there. So
there we go. Perfect. All right, Magic, you're good, brother.
All right, good to go.
What do we got here? BTC on the daily?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
Okay, good. So very, very simple. You have the October high here when you're talking about a monthly resistance and level of support potentially. You realistically can't be looking for a breakdown or anything lower, like a mean reversion back to a monthly average, which comes in around 32 and some change right here, this little box, until you're back below 35,750. And even when you get that, this is a huge, massive support that has to be held. So when people are looking for these massive pullbacks in the end of this trend, I do think it's wishful thinking until you have a sign of weakness in the chart. So for me, one of the biggest convictions I've had in 2023 was looking back to 2022's data. So we were looking for the average of price around $27,000. But if you start looking towards the range from 2022 right here, you'd be looking to rotate it in full. So basically showing us that we haven't quite rotated it, but once you do, this is going to be resistance potentially. Now, this is also a historical place on the chart. And what that means is if you're looking at this data and this data here, 38K has always been kind of key. And once above it, you generally see about 45 to 50K. So in terms of ranges, I believe I actually still have that information from that low. Yeah, the June 21 bottoms are right here. If you were just to extrapolate this over, you can see very similar price structure, basically showing that back above this range in this accumulation area, you could slide it to the left even if you want to. Right there, you can see that this is what you want to see. You want to get a breakout out of this range. So to me, I'm looking for a new high to be made still. But the question is, once we do formally tap this area, is it a short opportunity, or do we break through and come to these other higher levels that everyone's looking for? As you do have, naked points of control, and then you also have untapped averages of price that generally do get filled later on if they're not filled already. So for me, cautiously bullish, but the pain is up, in my opinion. Now, it's a bit of an ugly chart because there's a lot on here right now. If you were to look at this volume profile one more time, this 2022, and then overlay the 2023. So you want to look at both years right here. You can also see that the zone we marked out earlier between 32.3 and about 31K, this is also the value high of your developing range. And what's important to note is how much volume gap here is in this range. So that generally means that price is going to want to make that a balanced range. And you'll spend time up here trying to fill this out, basically showing us that as long as we're above roughly $32,000, you may range here between here and 37, 38K for an extensive period of time. And that would be constructive. It would just be filling in this gap right here. So that's how I'm looking at Bitcoin right now.
Magic, before we move on from Bitcoin, can I ask you? So I was kind of talking about this before we brought you back on. I was watching Crypto Zombie yesterday. He had Alex Crown on the show, and he was looking back at previous halvings, and he said this might be the first time that we get a new all-time high before the halving. Is there any scenario where you see that happen? Maybe chart related, non-chart related? I don't know.
Me personally, no. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball though, but it could happen, I suppose. You'd be really looking at a meltdown of the dollar, in my opinion, and you'd be looking at more of a financial crisis and people like looking for a new safety net, essentially, and that could be Bitcoin in that scenario. But the dollar would have to essentially collapse, and you would get what's called a melt-up theory. And a lot of people called for the melt-up theory when Russia and Ukraine got into it. And this is why you can't trade the macro; you have to trade the chart. They were looking for this melt-up to a new all-time high and not a new bear market low. And so, for me, could that scenario happen? Yeah, if you start living above probably $47,000 pretty consistently, yeah, there's really nothing but dead space up here. You could very easily go to 70K, but it's tough to make that call now. It's a fun thing to talk about.
Okay. I know before we brought you on, we kind of briefly talked about Solana. Solana went from sub $20 to $65. So a 3x from a top 15 crypto projects, pretty huge, especially at the kind of the lower level of a bull market. What are some key levels you're looking out for Solana, and what's the price action telling you as far as where we might potentially be headed to next?
Yeah, so Solana is a really interesting chart, and it's one that we talked about a year ago on your show, actually. When this was making a low, I said, this is probably a bounce territory, but I'm not going to take it, which regrettably, this thing ripped after that, right? We said that nothing changes below $60. So that's kind of where you are right now. The key to this one is really looking at historical data yet again. You have the very obvious support and resistance right here, right around 73. But if you're looking at where you're finding resistance right now, it is your yearly average from 2022, and that's $65.83. You also have an untapped quarterly average there that is kind of like stacked there. And then it's just a fib range pull from this accumulation that did happen. So for me, Solana's hit a pretty major resistance, but anything above $80.83, and all bets are off. You may run this entire range back to $143 at that point. The only thing you would want to be aware of when you do something like that is you'd want to just pull a quick volume profile and just take a look and see where the point of control is of this range. And so that's telling you it's right around $100 or $90. Basically letting you know that if it does break into this, you want to see confirmation in this support being held as support. Otherwise, it could just come up here, deviate, and come back down. So for me, Solana, this is a great place to be locking in profits. And then if you're really bullish on the project going forward, you need to start looking for places that you want to get back into it. My traditional way of doing TA on it is always going to be looking at, time-based data, essentially. So we're looking for a yearly range, quarterly range, whatever it may be. We need something that is not a constant variable. So you can see that you're well above your yearly, and that this is really thin. So anything below, I would say this last local high right here, you're looking at $46.90 down to maybe $43. And I think that you're coming all the way back to 32, which is going to be, if I recall, your monthly pivot. Yeah, your monthly pivot, which is untapped, your last monthly average. So 46 and then 32 are the places I'm interested in it. I'm not interested in buying in this region, especially knowing that there's major macro resistance right up here, both the value area low of your previous consolidation, but also this monthly SFP right here, which I'm going to go ahead and show. I just want to make sure that I don't have a completely dirty chart when I do it, because all these lines blend together once you go to high time frames. But I'll show you guys the change behavior we're looking for. So right here, you can see on a monthly time frame, no closures below. You want to see this reclaimed. And ideally, it's a monthly reclaim if you're being a little bit on the conservative side. And that's really it. It's very, very simple. You can keep it, you can keep it as simple as you want. You claim this and you're looking to run it all the way back to the highs. However, when you're looking over here, look for your nearest market structure, what makes the most sense. We just talked about $46. You can extend this to the right, and you can probably see that it's exactly where we were just looking at before. So, TA isn't too hard. The hard part is going to be the execution and the decision making. So, patience in that regard, I guess.
I agree, and not letting your emotions get the best of you, whether you're in a winning trade or a losing trade. And I think that $100 level magic is also a big psychological number as well, where you might see people start to take some profit. But as far as for us, we're bullish on Solana long term. We believe in what they're doing, trying to break those barriers to entry down to make it more practical for the average user to come in and use DeFi, mint NFTs, and kind of play around in the DeFi ecosystem. Guys, I am going to put the if you want more magic, I have just put his website link in the chat. Make sure to visit there. They do live streams. Magic is one of our favorite TA people. And so that is partly the reason why we'll be bringing him back every single Tuesday. Magic, before we let you go, brother, any last words? And I'll kind of pull up your website here as well. So leadingcrypto.io. There's again, we did pin it in the chat as well. But Magic, any parting words? Anything you want to say before we let you go?
Nah, man, I just want to say thanks for having me back on. It's good to see you guys. I hope you guys are well. And then happy Thanksgiving to everyone in America. From my family to yours. Be safe.
Awesome, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Magic Internet Money, guys. Go visit his website. Go subscribe to his channels. And go join his free Discord. Robin, you've been very quiet. I don't like when you're too quiet. You want to say something?
Something. So, guys, we are currently at 227 viewers with 104 likes. That means we are under a 50% like ratio going on. Do you not like the show? 1 out of every 2 viewers here is not even that. Point something viewers has not liked the video. So, guys, help us out. Like the video. We get to 180 likes. We will open up the club. Also, we got 12 people watching on Rumble with 4 likes. So, big shout out to you. And then we do got a cut. We got Terry Ball, Masala, and Armand 840 in the Rumble chat. Also, we got Bart Famoshi, Joel, Dylan, and Muzaffer Selek in the regular chat. So, to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
And just a quick peek at the crypto bubbles here, guys. A bunch of red, except, of course, FTT token. But, guys, if you've been in the space, if you've been tuning into channels like ours over the last year, you know these dips are just buying opportunities. I believe this might be one of the last extremely volatile bull markets we have, especially when it comes to Bitcoin, with something like ETF coming, kind of stabilizing the markets a little bit. So with that being said, let's move forward to the next piece of big news, which was the SEC officially sues Kraken. You might be saying, well, didn't they sue him already? They did. They settled for $30 million. They took $30 million from Kraken for their staking services, made him shut it down. And well, that wasn't enough. That was just an appetizer. So they're back for the main course. Here is from, this is tweeted from Mert Helios. In the new SEC filing against Kraken, they list Solana as a security because Anatoly said Solana is fast in a blog post. These are deeply unserious people. Gary Genzer, you are a disgrace to bald guys everywhere. So it's just funny, you know, what this person is saying. I don't know if it's a gentleman or a lady, but in all these SEC filings, right, they say, we believe this is security because Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. And it's usually like, oh, they used the moon emoji, or, oh, he talked about staking rewards. And, oh, in here in Solana, you can see here on your screen, they talk about, oh, the founders said we're going to boost up the total value or the transactions per second. It's going to be fast. That is what they listed as the reason that Solana.
They said not just fast, lightning fast. Look, yeah. He said mainstream by using energy efficient and lightning fast, not just regular fast, lightning fast, guys. That's obviously if they would have only said regular fast, I think
they would be fine.
Yeah. But once you say lightning, you're promoting
rookie move, Anatoly.
You're promoting a security when you say lightning. Calm down.
Calm down, guys. No lightning, no emojis, okay? Then we have this from Jesse Powell, USA's top decel. I don't even know what does that word even mean? Decel or decel? Anyways, USA's top guy is back with another assault on America. The masochists, these are some big words, man. I'm not that smart, okay? Haven't been happy with the beatings they've taken in New York and are shopping for a different flavor of regdom in California. I thought we settled all their concerns for $30 million in February. Now they're back for seconds. Message is clear. $30 million buys you about 10 months before the SEC comes around to extort you again. Lawyers can do a lot with $30 million, but the SEC knows that a real fight will cost likely $100 million plus and valuable time. If you can't afford it, get your crypto company out of the U.S. war zone. Do you blame these people, Robin, for feeling like this? Do you blame them for telling their peers, maybe people, entrepreneurs who are looking to enter the crypto markets here in the U.S. to stay away from the U.S. What are your thoughts on this, on that, what Jesse Powell said, and what are your thoughts on Kraken getting sued?
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier with CZ. Now, it's not only just for retail, right? Not only for the users and people that have accounts, and but just in general, it is not in your best interest to operate in the US unless you are working with them. And unfortunately, the SEC doesn't provide much framework, guidelines, clarity with anything when it comes to crypto and partnering with institutions. We've seen that Coinbase's gripes when it comes to trying to comply, as the SEC says, is that they just reply, that the SEC just replies with nothing, right? They have not showed up for meetings or canceled meetings, and then they just sue you. And so if I was a crypto exchange, if I was a company that operated solely on crypto, I don't I don't feel like it's necessary to to operate in the US, right? You're taking on more risk, and if the users aren't there, then the reward really isn't there. And think about it. Kraken, it only operates in Washington State and in the New York jurisdictions, so it's not even available to 48 of the states. And even then, their derivatives ain't available in the U.S. either. So
You sure about that, Robin? The regular exchange being
Yeah.
available in 2 states?
you can try to log in. I tried to log in yesterday, and it says you are outside of the jurisdiction.
Really? Because I have a Kraken account.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, it might have changed. I don't know. I haven't been on there recently, or I haven't tried logging in recently. If you guys have a Kraken account and you live outside of Washington State or in the New York State area, and and you're able to use Kraken, let us know. But from my research I was doing last night, seems like those are the 2 states that operate. And then it used to, when they in 2013 when they launched, they were in all the states, right? They were available everywhere. And then well, no surprise, the U.S. has basically put a stranglehold on operating in the U.S. And how do they strangle you? Well, we see. They'll just keep suing you, dumbass.
Not to get political or anything, but Anthony Scaramucci said Democrats will lose the 2024 election and they have Gary Gensler to blame. Robin, do you think, do you agree with this? And you can replace the word Democrat with Republicans, but has crypto become such a big issue for voters, especially the younger generation, that these politicians and these commissioners and, people in the White House might, heed caution when they try to dismantle an entire industry because they can potentially lose an election?
Yeah, I don't know. I think this coming election is going to tell us a lot about the power of crypto. And if we as US citizens, if you're watching here in the States and you're a registered voter, I'm curious to see who you're going to vote for. And if the good one is going to be Elizabeth Warren, right? If she is
If she loses in Massachusetts,
yeah, she has won re-election time and time again. I think she first took office in the 80s.
80s, I believe.
I'm not exactly sure, but exactly sure the timeline.
That is insane.
But if she were to lose, it's an obvious indictment on the fact that she is anti-crypto. She's taken a hard stance on it. And if she were to lose, I think that is the nail in the coffin when it comes to taking a political agenda against crypto. And we're seeing political candidate or presidential candidate after presidential candidate outside of the 270-plus-year-olds. I think Donald Trump's 77. Biden's going to be 80, 180. I don't know what age he is anymore. But
180.
both of these gentlemen aren't really progressive on crypto, especially not Biden, right? And we did have a glimmer of hope when they had the crypto executive order.
I remember when that came out. I was driving home. It was late night. I was at a gas station, and I got a phone call from you. And you said, hey, man, did you see the executive order? And I was like, no, what is it? And I read it. I was like, oh, my God. And then they literally rug pulled us.
They did. So that, but here's the thing. That also came with the bull market, right?
Mm.
And so there was this euphoria moment. Everyone was talking about how great crypto is. And we had CEOs of traditional finance, getting behind crypto. We also had politicians getting behind crypto. And then a lot of people flipped, including the White House. But it is interesting because Trump had his NFT line. So maybe he's a little bit, maybe he's converted. You think he orange pilled? He's got an orange face.
He's got orange hair.
But
I don't know. I think, I honestly think that here in the U.S., right, people, they've lost trust in the government and the politicians. And if those same people are in the crypto industry and you as a politician, you're speaking out against crypto, you want to shut it down. Who was it, Brad Sherman, that says, shut them all down, go after them, Gary Gensler, then you run a risk of not getting elected because you want to get people to vote. You want to get people to the voting polls, piss them off. And you piss off crypto people, well, come after our bags. We're going to come after your ballots. We do have this. This was interesting, guys. So your portfolio might be down. You might have bought at the top. I bought some Bitcoin at the top. Okay. No problem saying that. Robin says I'm dumb money all the time. But I bought some Bitcoin on top. But I realized that I might be buying the top. But still, during essentially the end of a bear going into the very beginning of a bull market, Bitcoin has outperformed everything by a mile. So 2023 total returns to date, Bitcoin up 125%, the NASDAQ 100 up 47%, S&P up 20%, and then gold 8%, and everything on the bottom you see there. So guys, don't listen to people that say Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin's not. Bitcoin will always come back, no matter what the retracement is, unless, of course, something catastrophic happens to the miners or the network. So that's just something to keep in mind. We spoke about yesterday about Javier Milei, the new president of Argentina. And, we're a little, here in the U.S. especially, we're a little, I don't want to say spoiled, right? But, the dollar's a reserve currency. Liquidity's fine. We can get credit and buy money. Like, people make good money here. This is the reaction of people, right? And so the title of this was People Crying for Hope, right? This is a man that has come in and said, the system your government has given you, the monetary system, has failed you. It is taking your money away. It is taking your purchasing power away. And just look at how happy this little kid is that change is coming. And I do believe if he follows through on his campaign promises, Bitcoin will be a big part of that change. And then we also had this. This is tweeted from Natalie Brunell. This is from Tucker Carlson. Like him or hate him, the man's got a massive voice. And listen to what he says about Bitcoin.
I just mine it though.
Well, but it tells you everything. I mean, if you want to know what's really going on, look at who's being persecuted and look at what they're saying and doing. So those words and those actions are the real threats to the regime. Obviously, these are not stupid people. There's a lot at stake. The whole world's at stake, actually. Your soul is at stake. And so if they're going after you, maybe we should take a close look at the people they're going after. And the promise of Bitcoin, of course, I mean, as a non-Bitcoin expert, I'll just tell you my view of it, because I think it's true. The promise of Bitcoin is not just getting rich from Bitcoin. The promise of Bitcoin is you're independent of control by the people who devalued currencies since Rome, and they do it in every single currency is devalued because no politician over time can resist the temptation to print more money because it makes them more powerful. So that's just that's something that never ends. They always debase the currency, even digital currency. And they want to move to a central bank digital currency so they can have complete control of you. If you disagree with them, you can't eat. And Bitcoin offers really a way out of that. And that's totally indefensible. There's no way, Janet Yellen, who really is a very dark figure, is never going to stand up and be like, I'm against Bitcoin because it would disempower me and allow the average person to have a little bit more control over his own life. Never going to say that. She's going to be like, terrorists use Bitcoin. Really, terrorists. By the way, any terror group she names has absolutely, without question, received funding from the U.S. State Department at some time or other, if I could just say. Which is another way of saying, you have no moral standing to lecture me about anything. You are my servant. Please be quiet as I go about my life. That is the right posture. And the fact they shut down your bank account just tells you everything about how you're.
Wow. And as he said, this is coming from a non-Bitcoin guy. People are starting to realize, right? I feel like now that Bitcoin is proven, it is here to stay, right? Because the first few years, the first 5 years, the first 6, 7, 8, 9 years, people are like, oh, okay, cool, but it's probably not going to be around. Now that everyone's agreeing, Bitcoin is here and it's here to stay, people are finally starting to realize, okay, as he said in the very beginning, Bitcoin is not just about getting you rich. It's about giving you freedom from your government, from politicians, from the debasement of currency. Robin, what are your thoughts on what Tucker said?
Yeah, we're hearing what I'm hearing lately, or a lot more so, is that crypto, particularly Bitcoin, is a private money. And we heard Javier Milei say, the new president, say over and over again in his interviews regarding Bitcoin that it is a return to the private monetary system, where instead of the government controlling it, because remember, before government started printing fiat, you would barter and use whatever commodities you had. So if you were a farmer, you would trade your rice for whatever goods you needed to survive. And at some point, you went from rice to gold and silver. And then from there, the governments came in and was like, hey, we'll keep the gold and silver here and we'll just give you a voucher. And then even if your money is backed by gold, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you have $1 trillion worth of gold sitting in a locked up area in Fort Knox, and you have, say, a $1 trillion worth of paper notes that are circulating. If you were to double the circulating supply, then you have just inflated the currency by a factor of 2, right? And so now you have 50% less purchasing power because you have $1 trillion worth of gold, but now you have $2 trillion worth of paper notes going around. And so now each dollar in circulation is worth essentially less. So even if you were to go back to the gold standard, it doesn't stop politicians from manipulating the currency and printing more. And the problem here is that there's no underlying asset backing the dollar. And what we're seeing, what Tucker Carlson is saying, is essentially that people are tired of politicians. They're tired of losing purchasing power. You see it in Argentina. Kids are crying. Why is a kid crying? Well, probably because there's zero chance that his parents can save for a college. There's zero chance that they can save for a car because your inflation is damn near 200%, 180% inflation this year alone. And imagine trying to save for college and you set aside 10 grand, and next thing you know, it's only worth 3 by the end of the year. There's no way you're going to be able to go to college. No way you're going to be able to save for a car. You either have to put it in a commodity, or you're going to have to leave that fiat system and go elsewhere. And elsewhere is looking like Bitcoin, honestly. I do want to give
if that doesn't make you bullish on the idea of Bitcoin and make you want to hold your Bitcoin for as long as possible, I don't know what will.
We do have a 20 gifted memberships from Jimmy.
Damn, Jimmy!
So big shout out to you. Also, we got a lot of new viewers across multiple channels now, from Twitch and Rumble. So Bear DeLance is new. Also Scott Watson, Be Frank About It, Contagion Hoax, Harry C, Singut Beat. We also have Jade, Vol Slim, Jimmy, Derek Morrell, Mark Smith, Bib Sniper, Crypto Hodl, Caston Williams, Zayane, Mark Baller, Nat Singer, and Vlad D. To all of you, hola! Welcome. Sin City Crypto. Also, we're at 151 likes. We are only 29 likes away on YouTube.
The idea,
From
okay, listen,
opening up this damn club. We're opening this club today. We need 20 more.
The idea is we open the club to celebrate new milestones. 180 likes is not a new milestone, man. It defeats the purpose of opening the club. Now, if you want to open up the club, just have fun. Just do it.
180, man. 180's got to be the new standard.
Guys,
if we get to 180 today, we will up it to 200. Does that make you happy? Oh, we opening up the club.
You open the club right now.
I did not open the club right now.
Now you go.
Yeah,
Dance.
that's right.
Dance. Too much talk.
Called the turkey neck.
Is that the turkey neck?
Thanksgiving, baby. Guys, if you're wondering what the hell is going on, we are the entertainment capital of the world, being Las Vegas, and we are the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We like to have fun here. We like to keep you engaged and informed, and we like to have a good time. And we also like to rate people's portfolio. Every Tuesday, we rate someone's portfolio from the club,
From the club.
Huh?
from our community,
You want to open the club, but you resist. You can't resist.
I resisted.
I like how Rocco just dropped the club on you.
That's
I
it.
know, that
That's
was
it.
good job, Rocco.
There we go.
Not good job. I was thrown off guard. But this week we got this portfolio, and this portfolio was worth $11,500. This person's goal is to 10x in 2 years by 2025. So, what would you rate this portfolio? We're going to talk about it, but we want your opinion. Okay, so this person's portfolio, 45% of it is in Bitcoin, 35.3% in Caspa, 11.9% in Chainlink, 5.3% in XRP, 2% in N coins, which I'll go over that in a second, and then 0.6 in Cardano. So, Robin, what do you like? What do you not like? Also, rate this portfolio 1 to 10, keeping in mind their goal is to 10x in 2025.
I like it. I do. I think
You like it?
Yeah, I do like it. You're almost 50% on Bitcoin. You have Chainlink at 10%, XRP at 5%, and then you got 35% in Caspa. Caspa has a lot of the Solana vibes when it first came out, right?
No, it doesn't.
When Solana came out and it was
Based off what?
I'm talking about price action. Price action, the buzz in the community, looking at this portfolio, I think that Caspa. Now, I think it's a long play. Where's Caspa at on the
It's
on the coin market cap?
like 35 or something. 30.
29. So, I mean, Caspa itself, market cap $2.5 billion. So with Caspa, I think that you could get something very likened to Solana's price movement. There's a lot of community behind it, but obviously completely different. I'm not trying to make parallels on the utility and institutional adoption and all of that. I'm just saying that when Solana first hit the streets, when it was first listed, it started off at like $2, shot up to 20 pretty quickly. Then we know where it went from there, all the way up to $250. But everybody was talking about Caspa. Everyone was talking about Solana in the chat. I feel like a lot of the similar whispers that I'm seeing and a lot of the discussions are in this community-driven token. And I don't know. I think that's, if you're going for a long shot, you gotta expose yourself to an altcoin that has a potential to rip with a lot of retail behind it.
Let me ask you this question. When someone says they want a 10x, do you consider them conservative or aggressive?
That is aggressive. 10 times your money. Try to come to Vegas with $1,000.
But Robin, yes, typically yes. But remember, we're in crypto. 20x's, 100x's happen all the time.
Yeah, we're in crypto. How many people lost all their money? How many people tried to 10x and then got rug pulled? Here's the thing. If you just stuck to Bitcoin and Ethereum, you sold the bottoms and the tops, which is damn near impossible to do. Yeah, you could do it. But if you want to realistically get a 10x, you're probably going to have to get exposure to a higher risk project and then sell on the way up. And a higher risk project is something outside the top 10, because a lot of these portfolios that we rate, They just have a lot of the heavy hitter. You'll see small amount of Bitcoin, small amount of Ethereum. Then they're heavy on Cardano and heavy on Solana, heavy on all the top layer 1 plays. And so if you're trying to nail a token that gets a 20 or 30x, because realistically, that's what you're going to need to get a 10x, because you're not going to be able to sell the top. You're also going to take some L's on some other projects. I think that you're going to need some high risk plays. Caspa seems to have it. Now, I think I would have diversified my riskier plays. I would have liked to have seen maybe 15% Caspa, 15% something else further down the coin.
You got no L1s in here.
But no, I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh,
for goal orientation. Trying to get a 10x in the next bull market, 7.5. I see what you're doing. I see the risk you're taking. Not my type of portfolio. I got more of a longer time horizon. I'm fine with 4x's, and then just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a couple L1s. I'm happy with that. And
he's got no L1s. He's got no L1s. He's got XRP. Chainlink is not an L1. Caspa's 35%. Look, I know our community is big on Caspa. I'm not hating on Caspa, okay? I'm looking at Caspa and I'm sitting there, I'm going through the website and reading their white paper. I'm like, is anyone building on this thing? No. They've been around since 2021. Every second a block gets mined, right? You have the Ghost Stack protocol, which the founder, Jonathan Simpolonsky, and I apologize for butchering his last name, but he's essentially the creator of that, right? It's very fast. It's proof of work. Doesn't take a lot of energy. No VC. It fair launched, right? Those are all great. But for me to have 35% of my portfolio in a project that has no utility, no dApps building on it, I'm not saying it's a bad investment, but to have 35% in that, to me, is a little ridiculous. Love the Bitcoin, love the Chainlink, Ncoins. I did some research. It's a privacy layer on Cardano. Hasn't even really launched yet or been integrated yet with the main chain. So that's kind of his lottery play, which is cool. 2%. It's all good, man. XRP 5%, but you need an L1 in here, bro. You need a Solana. You need more Cardano. You need some Avalanche. You need some, I don't know, Near Protocol, Hedera, Algorand, something. But you literally have more than a third of your portfolio in a project that, sure, could it be great? Absolutely. It's already at a $2.5 billion market cap. Can it get to 25? Yeah, sure. I can see it get to 25. But still, like, nothing is built on top of it. And I know someone on Twitter yesterday said, well, Cardano got to like a $40 billion market cap. Nothing. Yeah, true. But I would have not have had 35% of my portfolio in Cardano back when nothing was built on top of it. So that's my biggest concern. Throw in another L1, maybe up your Chainlink a little bit to about 13 to 15%. XRP is cool. I've definitely added a little more Cardano. Your Ncoins is cool, whatever. As long as you know that you're probably going to lose money on that. Bitcoin, maybe bump that up to 55%. But man, that Caspa, bro, I would bring that down to 10%, maybe even a little under. That's just my opinion. I would give this maybe a 3.5 out of 10. Yeah. I want to know what the chat thinks. What would you rate this portfolio 1 through 10? Let us know. And I am currently looking at this press conference has not started yet, the Department of Justice. So we will stream that hopefully for Solon if that thing goes live. So I'm at a 3.5, Rob. You're at, what'd you say, a 7?
7.5.
7.5. Okay. Curious to know what the chat thinks. Let us know if you're watching us on Rumble or on Twitch.
Hey,
let us know as well.
The way I look at it, dude took 50%, took half, put in Bitcoin, half in a high risk. I think it's, if you're trying to get to next, I think it's.
Look, man, 11K is not chump change, right? It's a decent chunk of money. And I don't know, man. Unless you got another portfolio that's more of your long-term portfolio, that's like a $50,000 portfolio, might change my mind, but you need to diversify a little bit, my brother. And I know whose portfolio this is. I'm not going to out this person, but I love you, man. I just like to be honest with people. All right, we have this piece of news coming from.
I love your portfolio.
What's up?
Whoever it is, I love their portfolio.
One day I will share my personal portfolio. I don't know when that day will come, but it'll come. All right, let's move on to this piece of news. So this was pretty big. Dfinity, which is the company behind ICP, and SingularityNet, which is the company behind Ajax, partnered to advance decentralized AI infrastructure. The Dfinity Foundation and SingularityNet are eyeing decentralized AI infrastructure. The project will integrate ICP blockchain with the SingularityNet marketplace. SingularityNet CEO Ben Goertzel says the collaboration aims to develop infrastructure for decentralized AI and AGI that benefits all of humanity. ICP will play a crucial role on this quest. This is a quote from Dominic Williams, the founder of Dfinity. The Internet Computer has been at the forefront of hosting artificial intelligence on the blockchain since the launch of the $5 million DAI grant in July. We have seen an uptick in projects leveraging AI on ICP. This initiative with SingularityNet will further realize our vision for decentralized AI, and we're excited to work alongside Dr. Ben Goertzel and his team to refine the framework, he added. Now, a lot of people, when they think ICP, they think of roll-up canisters for Bitcoin, right? That's kind of like an L2. Now, with potentially an increased AI narrative, is this more bullish for ICP, Rob, or is this more bullish for SingularityNet?
I like Dfinity. Dfinity or ICP, I think, is something that is a sleeper. I think that it put a bad taste in everybody's mouth from its launch. And they also had their launch through Alameda Research. Remember that?
Yeah, they were the market makers.
Yeah, they were the market makers. And I think Dfinity
they got screwed, man.
Yeah, I think their initial token came out at like $200 something, right?
I believe it was $700.
Yeah, it was like $700.
It was, yeah.
Let me take a look at that. Like that was such a botched token or such a botched release. It's surprised that they even kind of withstood that, right? They're number 35 on the coin market cap list. Taking a look at all time. Look at that chart, man.
It looks like
looks
like a rug pull, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying ICP is a rug pull.
No, but it basically they failed to launch correctly. And we know what was behind it, FTX. And well, you know what? Sam Bankman-Fried is officially going to go to prison. He's going to be sentenced here, I think next year at some point. And he's going to be held accountable for his actions. Now, this wasn't mentioned in the court case, the market making, but so manipulation and fraud was at front and center when it came to the court case. And this is what you got. You got projects that have good founders, good teams that build out, that raise money, that got duped by people like Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. And so I'm pretty impartial to the article. I think that these partnerships are good for our industry. But I just kind of reflect on ICP, and I think it's a potential boom. This, going back to the last portfolio, they did half ICP and half CASPA. I think that would be a really good diversification. 15%.
What planet
ICP.
are you living on? Half. So 20, like 17% in ICP.
Let's just say 15% ICP, 15% in CASPA. I think that is, and then half Bitcoin on the rest of the portfolio. That's if you're trying to swing for the fences, I like it, man. I like it.
Anyways,
and then if you're new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We got Rob S, Rod, Lonzo Heras, also Kryptonian 1, Yellow Pin 34, and also Ashley Dubuque said, David, dance on the desk next time when they open.
It's the book. Ashley, what the buck is going on, girl?
Yeah. So to all of you, hola! Welcome.
Guys, we didn't get to stream the DOJ press conference live, but I will go ahead and paste the link in there for you guys to go watch it if you'd like. Also like to give a last shout out to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you run a business and you want to maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity, visit bluewiretech.com. See how they can help you out. Also, big thank you to all of you that supported us, that gifted memberships. Jimmy, Redman, also S-Dog for on his own becoming a member of the channel as well. And big thank you to RustyBot, who's been a member for 9 months. Said 9 months passes fast on this channel. Yes, it does, my friend, and we're excited for what the future holds. Any parting words, Robin, before we let us go?
No, thanks for tuning in. We're excited to be streaming on multiple platforms. We got more coming into our catalog of channels.
Guys, help us out. Go subscribe to us on Twitch and on Rumble, okay?
You know what?
Pump those numbers.
Day one on Rumble, we got up to 16 live viewers.
Really?
I think it took us almost
6 months.
like 6 months to get up.
Put a 1 in the chat. There's 2 people in the chat.
Yeah.
One of them was Rocco.
Yeah, to get those numbers on YouTube took us a while, and I think it's exciting. I'm glad, and we got more content coming as well. So we're trying to expand our content. So guys, we're excited to go into this next bull market.
Not
make some
investing
money.
35% in Caspo.
Anyways,
Anyways,
all I got.
with that being said, Rocco. Guys on Rumble and Twitch, that is my patented finger tornado. If you want to learn how to do it, I'll teach you. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It was an amazing show. Come back tomorrow for an even better show. On behalf of all of us here, we love you guys. Till next time. Peace.
Sin City, crypto.
Give the
Everybody know we
patents
here
for the
for
Dorito and the
entertainment
yogurt,
and
too.
info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in.
Don't sleep
Big
on
facts, no
Cool
cap.
Ranch.
With Bitcoin,
Don't
at the
sleep
end
on
you
Cool
win.
Ranch
Divided
yogurt.
with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon, then to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.